The neighborhood watch group chat pinged at 6:47 p.m., suspicious black male loitering on Elm Street. Call security now. By 6:50, Karen Whitaker, self-appointed HOA queen, was speedwalking toward the threat, her phone already dialed to 911, her voice a pitch too high for reason. In a quiet suburb where nothing ever happened, this was her Super Bowl. But the man in the wheelchair, Marcus Reed, wasn't a criminal mastermind. He was a 42-year-old veteran waiting for his VA therapy van, his prosthetic leg tucked under a blanket, his eyes scanning the horizon for a ride that was, as usual, late. Marcus had lived on Elm Street for 3 years, a quiet tenant who kept his lawn trimmed and his PTSD battles quieter. He'd served 2 tours in Afghanistan, lost his left leg to an IED, and came home to a country that thanked him with paperwork and long waits. Therapy was his lifeline, a 45-minute ride to the VA hospital where he could unpack the ghosts that haunted his sleep. But tonight, as the autumn chill settled in, he was just a man in a wheelchair, waiting at the curb, unaware that Karen Whitaker had already branded him a menace. Karen, 46, was the kind of woman who saw danger in every shadow. She'd moved to this gated community to escape the chaos of the city, but chaos, to her, was anyone who didn't fit her vision of suburban perfection. Her HOA meetings were legendary for their pettiness fines for unapproved mailbox colors, lectures on proper lawn ornaments. When she spotted Marcus at the curb, his hoodie pulled up against the wind, her instincts screamed trouble. She didn't know him. Didn't care to. All she saw was a black man, alone, at dusk. That was enough. She wasn't alone in her crusade. Enter Todd Grayson, 38, the neighborhood's self-styled HOA cop. Todd wasn't a real cop. His badge was a $12 Amazon purchase, and his authority came from a laminated card Karen had printed at Kinko's. But Todd loved the power. A failed real estate agent with a chip on his shoulder, he patrolled the streets in a golf cart, flashing his mag light at kids on bikes and barking at dog walkers. When Karen's text lit up his phone, he floored the cart, arriving at Elm Street with the swagger of a man who'd watched too many cop shows. "Sir, you need to identify yourself," Todd bellowed, his flashlight beam cutting through the twilight, landing square on Marcus's face. Marcus squinted, raising a hand to shield his eyes. "I'm waiting for my ride," he said, his voice low but steady. "VA transport. Should be here soon." Todd scoffed, stepping closer, his hand hovering near a can of pepper spray clipped to his belt. "You expect me to believe that? Nobody just sits out here like this." Karen, now at Todd's side, clutched her phone like a weapon, her voice trembling with righteous indignation. "I've seen you before, lurking around. This is a safe neighborhood, and we don't tolerate strangers causing trouble." Her words dripped with accusation, each syllable a jab. Marcus's jaw tightened. He'd dealt with Karens before, store clerks who followed him, neighbors who crossed the street when he rolled by. But this was different. This was his home. "I live here," Marcus said, his tone sharper now. "At 214 Elm. Check your precious HOA roster." Karen's eyes narrowed, unconvinced. Todd, emboldened by her presence, leaned in. "We don't have to check anything. You're causing a disturbance. Show some ID, or we're calling the real cops." Marcus's hands gripped the arms of his wheelchair. He could feel the old anger rising, the kind that had kept him alive in war zones but could ruin him here. "I don't owe you my ID," he said. "I'm waiting for my ride. Back off." The standoff drew eyes. Curtains twitched in nearby windows. A jogger slowed, phone out, recording. Karen's voice grew louder, performative now, as if she knew she had an audience. This is exactly why we need stricter rules. People like him think they can just do whatever they want. Marcus's laugh was bitter, cutting through her tirade. People like me? You mean veterans? Or just black men in your perfect little world? Todd took a step forward, his chest puffed out. Don't make this about race. You're the one causing a scene. Marcus's eyes locked on Todd's, unflinching. You're the ones harassing a disabled vet on his own street. You tell me who's causing a scene. The air crackled with tension, each word a spark threatening to ignite something uglier. Karen's 911 call was still connected, her whispers to the operator painting Marcus as a threat. Todd's hand inched closer to the pepper spray. Then, headlights. The VA van, a battered white Ford with a faded logo, rolled up to the curb. The driver, a tired woman named Carla, leaned out. Marcus, sorry I'm late. Traffic was a mess. She glanced at Todd and Karen, her brow furrowing. Everything okay here? Marcus didn't break eye contact with Todd. Just a misunderstanding, he said, his voice laced with sarcasm. These folks thought I was a criminal for existing. Karen's face flushed red, but she doubled down. We were protecting our community. You could have been anyone. Carla shook her head, helping Marcus into the van. He's a vet who served this country while you were busy playing neighborhood dictator, she snapped. Todd opened his mouth, then closed it, his bravado deflating under the weight of her words. The van door slid shut, and Marcus was gone, leaving Karen and Todd in the street, their righteous crusade exposed as a farce. But the story didn't end there. By morning, the jogger's video was viral on X, racking up thousands of views. The hashtag #FakeHOACops trended, with clips of Karen's tirade and Todd's wannabe cop posturing dissected across the internet. Comments poured in, "This is why HOAs are a joke. That vet deserves better. Karen needs a hobby." The neighborhood was split. Some defended Karen and Todd, citing safety concerns, others demanded apologies, calling for the HOA to be disbanded. Marcus, back from therapy, saw the video on his phone. He didn't smile. He didn't cry. He just felt tired. The HOA held an emergency meeting that week, but Karen and Todd didn't show. Whispers circulated that Karen was selling her house, unable to face the neighbors she'd once ruled. Todd's golf cart stayed parked, his patrols a thing of the past. Marcus kept to himself, his routine unchanged: therapy, yard work, quiet nights wrestling with memories of war. But the neighborhood felt different now, fractured by a moment of prejudice laid bare. The bitter truth lingered. Marcus had been waiting for a ride to heal his wounds, but Karen and Todd had opened new ones. Their accusations weren't just a misunderstanding, they were a symptom of a deeper-rot fear dressed up as vigilance, power wielded without accountability. Marcus didn't need their apologies. He needed a world where he could wait for a van without being seen as a threat. That world, it seemed, was still out of reach. What do you think? Were Karen and Todd just misguided, or did their actions cross a line into injustice? Share your thoughts on where accountability begins in a community divided by fear.